Good morning.
Your Honor, before we get going, you'll recall the trial of the co-defendant in this case, where we got through certain testimony and with testimony, we decided to extend an offer to.
What was the name of the co-defendant?
Got it right here, Judge. And have you?
Even with the name, you're asking a lot of me, Mr.
Yeah.
Pullman, but without a name, you're really asking a lot.
With Jose Lopez Palmias, it was the case where we employed the
Yes,
yeah, sorry, that.
the translators from Houston and.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so something has been worked out based on that
Based on
in
that.
Mr. Rodriguez's
That's right.
case. Okay.
The Kenny Rogers theory of prosecution is what I was thinking, but that's the one.
Yes. No one wins.
The extent.
I thought it was Rivers, like was we're on islands, it was in spring, was that with Dolly Martin?
Mr. Turk, will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment?
Yes, no.
While she does her doing it.
I don't think it's true.
No, I'm talking about what in the whole.
I do gambling. We walk away from it.
Give me that. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, in cause number 23, DCCR 1415. You're charged with a second-degree felony offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon from June 18th of 2023. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
Wait, did you hear that? He just said guilty, but at the same time claims it was self-defense. That's a huge contradiction. So why would someone admit guilt if they believed they were protecting themselves? This is where plea deals get real. Sometimes it's not about the truth, it's about the risk.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And because you did what they charged you with?
Defend myself.
Is anyone forcing you to plead guilty?
¿Alguien me está forzando a mí, declararse culpable? No.
I have here on the tablet some documents that have your signature on them that the state's marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with your attorney, with the interpreter?
Yes.
Do you fully understand
Sí,
them?
los entiende. Yes.
And do you understand if I follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney, that you will be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
I understand.
Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
I understand.
State tenders number 1,
No objection.
it's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Rodriguez is not competent?
No objection.
All right, sir, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of your plea. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, find you guilty of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Sentence you in accordance with that agreement to a term of 2 years in prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. There will be an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. And
We
You're-
submitted a dismissal for the Shane case. Judge.
right, you're currently serving time in TDC, is that correct?
Yes.
This will run concurrently or at the same time with whatever you're serving time with as well. And I will sign a
Thank you.
dismissal as part of this agreement and cause number 23, DCCR 1416. I'm handing you the trial court certification. That shows that this was an agreement that I followed, and so you waived your right to appeal. I've also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or
De
ammunition.
no poder tener una arma ni balas.
That admonishment is in Spanish. You need to read it carefully. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you.
Pueden seguir que lo culpen de más crímenes.
If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition,
Tener armas.
or about how long that lasts,
No dura.
you can talk with
Le
Mr.
puede
Turk.
preguntar eso.
Right, good luck to you, sir.
Todo buena suerte, señor. Estas son sus copias, sí.
Thank you, Mr. Turk. Thank you, Ms. Bursch.
Thank you, Judge.
Miles? Okay, so this is 24 DCCR 2330, just trying to get up to speed. Good morning, ma'am. And Ms. Miles was in court and entered pleas of truth to counts 1 through 4 in a motion to revoke unadjudicated probation. On probation for tampering or fabricating with physical evidence, third-degree felony. And I reset the case.
She pled true to counts 1 through 4,
Right.
not true to count 5.
Not true to count 5, which is the count with regard to that she was, so all of these have to do with, most of them have to do with the ISF and the fact that she didn't successfully complete it and was removed from it. And count 5 specifically made the allegation that she was walking around in the quote living room of the dormitory during count time, which was against the rules. We reset it and I asked for and received the a report, the discharge report from ISF. And so I guess where are we now?
So one of my main concerns is, and I'm not, well, obviously she's just started probation, but there is a history of mental health issues. I don't know if necessarily if Ms. Miles has been on the mental health caseload. There have been several diagnoses that she has. I'm not sure if proper medication may be an issue. I know she recently told me that they have put her back on some type of medication, which I do think has contributed to some of the behaviors. Due to her not being on probation very long and not being at ISF very long, we are asking that she be given another chance to try to make this right to successfully complete the probation. Mainly that was the issue on the motion, was her not completing ISF and adhering to all of the rules and regulations there. So I don't want the court to totally give up on her at this point, but we understand obviously that a person needs to successfully complete ISF when they are ordered.
I mean, what option? And just for the record, if you'll raise your right hand, please, ma'am, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're given this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. And so what options and what's probation's thought with regard to any type of mental health issues that could be addressed?
Well, prior to her placement at the facility, I did go to the county's corrections facility and speak with Miss Miles. And I told her that upon her completion of the ISF program, that I would have her meet with and Spindletop to have all of those assessments that she would need to see if that she could be accepted onto the mental health initiative caseload. But we didn't make it that far.
I guess the problem is if there are those issues, then those need to be addressed in order for her to be successful wherever, including ISF. So and those evaluations cannot be done while she's in custody at our jail, correct?
I don't know what can be done at the correctional facility, but I do know that I spoke to some members from Tacoma to have it set up to where they could start that process while she was at the facility. at the ISF facility. But due to her, disruptive behavior there, it didn't get very far.
So if we need an evaluation done because the disruptive behavior could potentially be.
Now, this is bigger than just a courtroom decision. The judge is facing a difficult question. Should this be treated as a legal failure or a mental health issue? Because if the system gets this wrong, the consequences don't just affect one case, they affect a person's entire future. So what do you think? Does she deserve another chance?
Because of mental health issues, then what are my options?
I believe that the staff from Spindletop can go out to the facility and do some type of assessment.
I know we've had difficulty getting them to do that.
That's what my understanding.
I've seen them there. I don't.
Yeah,
And I know Ms. Miles has been a spindle top patient in the past.
you have go and behave
Judge,
if there's an underlying issue without
we
those.
said like we can request the records to see exactly what she was diagnosed and when the last time she was there.
Okay, let's do that.
Do you want to do that?
We'll do it whenever the next docket is. It's going to be a couple of weeks. We don't have a docket next week, but let's do that so that we can see what the diagnosis was so that we can figure out. I don't want to set Ms. Miles up to fail. I mean, and tell somebody to go and follow all the rules when there's behavioral issue potentially based on mental health. Now, if it's not, and there's just behavioral issues, then that's going to be on you. So it's not going to be an excuse to misbehave and not follow the rules. But if there's truly an issue, I want to know about it and what those issues are, what the diagnosis is, and whether or not that diagnosis would potentially cause some of the issues that have happened. So
Yeah.
let's see. We'll get it reset and we'll come back. Okay.